Well, day after the bombing in Boston, and so far we still don't really have an idea as to who did it. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the people who were attacked and their families. So far, we've had a few people come up with some rather interesting ideas to who may have been involved. Alex Jones, of course, says that it's a false flag operation, even though there was no new information that came out or anything that would seem to indicate the usual parameters of a false flag operation. Some folks are saying that it was foreign terrorists or the Muslims. However, the FBI had reported that there was no chatter, at least regarding the Boston Marathon, which leads me to suspect something. I'm going to lay down the groundwork. I personally believe it was domestic terrorists. It was a domestic bomber. Given the fact that the bombs were placed on a specific, along a specific route of the Boston Marathon, which isn't really a closely guarded secret, but at the same time, um, you know, it was held on the day of the Boston Marathon when the most people would be there. Plus, it was on April 15th, Tax Day, and also Patriot Day in Boston, which is, a holiday where, over there where they talk about the patriots that fought in the American Revolution, Lexington, and one other guy, I forgot his name. But if you think about it, um, it would make a lot of sense if it was a domestic terrorist, especially given the fact that, for the most part, um, there hasn't really been anything on the interwebs to indicate otherwise. Something else to think about. Um, when it comes to things like this, people have the tendency to start doing some really cool stuff or some really messed up stuff. Um, I personally am off to go to an interview for a employment. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to, A, jinx myself, and B, once I start working at this job, I'm not going to mention the company name because, I don't want folks, you know, knowing where I work. Um, but in the meantime, just keep in mind that we don't have enough information as to what's going on in Boston. The police supposedly have a person of interest, suspect. Um, but even then, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a foreign terrorist or that it was a false flag operation. All it means is we don't have enough information to make an educated guess. I can make an intuitive guess, I can make an intuitive guess that it was somebody that knew the Boston area quite well and was able to, navigate the area rather quickly. Excuse me. That was able to navigate the area rather quickly, but I believe, and I could be wrong. I don't think so. I believe it was a domestic terrorist that did the bombings. Yep. Someone who possibly agrees with teabagger ideology. I'm not going to say it was a teabagger because, then people will get all upset and butthurt and they'll cry. But this is going to be somebody that possibly agrees with teabagger ideology, given the historic significance and also where the bombs were dropped, where the bombs were placed, and what time the bombs were placed. This is somebody that knew Boston, knew American history, and knew exactly what they were doing. This is Dumac the Artist signing off. Sunshine Falcha. Have a nice day.